Hello all, in this video we are going to see how to write a concrete class in the NetBeans. Okay, so from the previous video you can see the skeleton of a class that I have been provided here. We will switch back and forth with this Word document as well as with the NetBeans, and then we will write a class. Okay, so in order to write a class we need to know this. So first let me go to NetBeans and create a project. Do not create a main class. I'm going to create, let's say, a dog project, or let's do a book project. Create a package name called, you have to right click and create a package name called books. Finish. And under the books you would be creating a class, which is Java class called book. I'm creating a book class here. Okay, so this is how you would be seeing this. Let me go to tools and change the font a little bit. Okay, so you would be able to see public class book and then open brace and closed brace, which is auto-generated in the NetBeans. So public class, you already got the class name, open brace, and then the closed brace. So now what we have to do, we have to declare private instance variables. You have to declare private instance variables. What are they? Private int, let's say book ID. Remember, I'm following a camel case here. Private string book title. Private double book price. Okay, so I exactly followed the template or a syntax what I have given here. Private data type identifier 1. Identifier means the variable name here. Private data type book ID. And then I would be writing my constructor. I'm going to write only one constructor here. You can see that. So how to write a constructor? Public class name. What's our class name? Book. And you have to pass all the data, all the variables here. So which would be integer book ID in, comma, string book title in, comma, double book price in, and then you would be assigning book title is equal to book title in, whatever the variables that you have in order. So public book int book ID in, string book title in, double book price in. Okay, it's always recommended to write within this line so that the code would be readable, this red line here, so that it would be easy to read. So now I have to write assignment statements here. What assignment statement I have to use? So book ID is equal to book ID in, book title is equal to book title in. I have to pass I have to follow the actual naming conventions with camel case and all. Book price is equal to, I'm assigning basically whatever I'm going to pass. For example, if you are going to create a book, and then you have to pass that book here. So we would be able to assign that here our variable. And then what's next? Methods, or I would say getter methods. Let's do getter methods first and then setter methods later. How to write a getter method. Okay, so we are done up to this. And now getter methods. Public, return value data type, get method name, return identifier 1. Let's say if we are writing a getter method for book ID, which will be writing what is the type, what is the value of the book, what is the data type of the book ID, which is int. So public return data type is int, get book ID, open brace, return book ID, and then close brace. Public int return value type and then method name, get book ID. There are no parameters here, which you would be returning book ID. Public string, I'm writing for book title, get book title. You may be confused here or may have question. I'm writing book ID B lowercase, I uppercase. So you should be able to know when you write a method name, only or variable name, the first letter is the lowercase in the first word, and in the remaining words, the first letter of all the words should be the uppercase. I'm following the naming convention basically. But when I'm returning the exact variable with whatever the case type that I have declared, book title, and then public double get book price. You should be able to write this all in less than 1 minute. And the next thing what we need to write is setter methods. Setter methods are here. So we will be writing public void set method name, data type, identifier n. So now if you want to change your book, what you would be writing, your book title or something, you would be able to use the setter method for that particular attribute. So let's say we'll write for book ID here. Okay, so public void set book ID. It has parameter which would be int book ID in or new book ID, and then assignment statement is equal to book ID is equal to new book ID or book ID in. Okay, let's write that. Public return value type, sorry, setter methods have no return type, void set book ID, and you would be able to pass the parameter which would be book ID in. I'm writing book ID in. You could write any variables here. Okay, so any variable name, which would be book ID is equal to book ID in. So basically, if you want to change the book, this is a current book ID, and you would be assigning a new book ID to that. Okay, so let's write the other methods real fast. Set book title, string book title, book title in, So look at the mistake I have done. Book title in, and then the book price, right? Book price is of double. But here I don't care about the return type because it returns void. But here I should know that it is double. Book price in. That's it. So we have returned 3 setter methods, 3 getter methods, 1 constructor, and we have declared 3 private instance variables. Okay. However, you may have an option to insert code. If you insert code, you may not be able to understand how to write a method, even like a user defined methods later on. So that's why I recommend you to practice based on the template. Okay. So this is what we have demonstrated about a simple concrete class. In the next video, I'm going to demonstrate on how to write a driver class and test these methods and how to create objects. Okay, thank you.